welcome to the United Man. My name is Shane. This is the latest on Manchester United transfer news. Now, we've got so much to get through today. We're going to be going over Jude Bellingham. Apparently there's been a bid made. Raul Jimenez, Edison Cavani, and that guy is back again. Yes, indeed, is it time to get excited? Bruno Fernandez.
The mic, making sure production's tight.
I've got news for you. Got loads to get through. Before we get to the big one about Bruno Fernandez and the news on that, got loads to tell you about that one. And yeah, I want to address that one properly. So yeah, we'll get to that one in a moment. If you want to stay tuned and get all the latest news on Manchester United transfers, all the latest reviews, previews and reactions, don't forget to subscribe. Okay, let's get into it. Now, before we get into the big blockbuster news, wanted to start with an intriguing one, a transfer that is been rumbling on behind the scenes for quite some time now. It is Bukhari Samari. Now, this one, I believe for this lad, he is a diamond in the rough for sure. He's been dubbed the new Paul Pogba. I'd say he's more athletic than Paul Pogba in itself. Very strong, powerful guy, very skillful, good with the ball at his feet in terms of taking on players and dribbling past them. Very good in the tackle as well. He has a lot of work rate behind him as well, which is what Paul Pogba doesn't seem to have. So it's very good to see that. Very good at intercepting the ball. He doesn't really have any weaknesses other than not really being too much of a goal threat. He is a defensive midfielder slash central attacking midfielder. So I feel like this guy, should we make this signing, yeah, I believe there's a class player in there as well. Now, the big news, the big one, Bruno Fernandez. Okay, is it time to get excited? I believe so, I really do. Now, we've got so much to go through on this one, so let's just go straight into it. First and foremost, it's looking like it's going to be a deal worth between 50 and 65 million. Now, Manchester United have put in a bid already from what's been reported. That was a bid for cash plus player. Now, the names of the player that was linked, that was everything from Marcos Rojo to Joel Pereira and Angel Gomez. As it stands, Sporting are looking for a cash deal only. It would benefit their financial struggles at the moment. Obviously, the manager has come out and said he's looking for replacements for Bruno Fernandez if he does go, which is always a sign of the writings on the wall, so to speak. Also, what's interesting with this one is the amount of news outlets and reports that have been done on this one already. Now, the news only broke a few days ago that Manchester United may possibly be in for Bruno Fernandez again. However, the amount of newspaper outlets that are covering it both in Portugal and in England number the Mirror, Sun, Daily Mail in Portugal, Ojogo Record, Ebola, Correia da Manhã, TVR 24. So all of these guys are covering this this deal, but they're all pretty much saying the same thing. So that kind of gives you an inkling of whereabouts this deal is and if it's likely to get done or not. Correia da Manhã has come out and saying basically that Bruno is due in Manchester early next week to looking to complete the deal. Now, whether there's how much truth is in that, I do not know. Obviously, Correia da Manhã have come out with some interesting speculative reports in the past regarding Bruno Fernandez. So how much is true about that one remains to be seen. However, what that does tell you is that there's a lot of movement going on at the moment as well. Interestingly, for those of you who thought that Bruno Fernandez may be a season and a half flash in the pan, obviously scoring over 31 goals and assisting 20 last season, his form seems to be continuing. Now, he's played in 30 games this season, assisted on 10 occasions and scoring 14 goals. This guy is consistent. He's a central midfielder, can play attacking midfield, but essentially he's a central midfielder who is very creative and very decisive, looks for that through ball all the time. So this is the player that we've been missing. This is the guy that we need. And ladies and gentlemen, it seems like it's very, very, very close. So the stats support him again for this season. Let's just go and do this deal. Now, another funny one really is Rio Ferdinand's tweet. You may or may not have seen or heard of it already, but all it simply was Rio saying, Bruno. He then went on to say he's waiting around just like the rest of us to keep refreshing. So that one from Rio there, obviously Rio is even anticipating this deal. Whether or not Rio's got some inside information, seems very interested, because beforehand there wasn't anything like that in the summer from Rio. So Rio may have heard something as well. We don't know, but now I found that quite interesting as well. Obviously, there's been reports and photographs of Bruno Fernandez after he scored his goal in the last 3-1 win, where he got 2 goals, by the way, and also there was a United representative. There were reports and photos of showing Bruno Fernandez doing this as his goal celebration. So obviously that was derived as being possibly he's saying, you know, he's not listening to the transfer whispers. He's just going to get on with his football, which is good. You know, and that's what I like about him. Obviously, he was clearly up for grabs last summer, but he didn't get his move. But he just obviously got his head down and is still performing, which is brilliant to see. And obviously a high character individual. Again, reports suggesting that at that 3-1 win for Sporting in their last game, we had a United official there watching Bruno Fernandez. Now, what reports also suggest is that there are always United officials, not always, but a lot of the times United officials are in Portugal watching some of the big teams and some other players as well. What I also found interesting was the fact that reports also suggested that Ollie and Mike Phelan actually went to view Bruno Fernandez as well. So that much, you know, when you get a manager going to watch a player as well, shows the level of interest and how much that deal is, well, how relevant and how realistic that deal is to get done. Overall, with the Bruno Fernandez deal, I can see it happening. I didn't say it in the summer. It was if, buts and maybes. We'd love it and all that kind of stuff. I would certainly love it, but I can actually see this one getting done. With most transfer deals, you get a certain degree of traction. You get a certain degree of hype when there's reality behind it, when there's a likelihood that the deal's actually going to get done. So this one, I can actually see it happening. So is it time to get excited? I wouldn't say get excited just yet until the deal's over the line, but I can certainly see that we're in for him. But let's keep fingers crossed as to whether or not the deal gets done. Another one that's still not going away for some reason is the talk of Wolverhampton Wanderers striker Raul Jimenez. Yeah, saying that we're still interested in him. I'd be surprised. I'll be very, very surprised if we was to look to go in for him. Can't really see Wolves wanting to let him go. Can't really see us being that interested in him. With no transfer fees being mentioned as of yet, kind of gives you an inkling into how true this deal may be, or the potential of this deal. Do I want this transfer to happen? Not really. He's not really an improvement on Anthony Martial. Slightly different player, yes, but not the type of player that I feel we need. Is he going to come in and be a squad player? Want to be a squad player? Probably not, because he starts at Wolves right now. So yeah, and between ourselves and Wolves at the moment, the gap isn't that big. It's more like that. So for me, I wouldn't see Raul Jimenez wanting that move anyway. For me, it's a bit of a strange one. So for me, that's not really looking to happen. Jude Bellingham, another name that's been mentioned as a potential target for us. Now, he's been linked with quite a few clubs in actual fact. The 16-year-old central midfielder from Birmingham City, well, he only turned 16 in June last year, so he's still a very, very young lad. Now, is he going to come in and make the starting lineup? Probably not. Probably going to go and play for the youth team under 23s. Would that make sense? These kind of deals, if we were to get it done, for me, if you're going to sign him, fair enough, but then keep him there, playing in Birmingham City's first team in the championship, playing competitive football. For me, keep him there. In terms of it being done, there's been reports that we've made a £12.5 million bid, but we are not the only ones in for him. So with that one, I'll just say watch this space. There's obviously chatter of Edinson Cavani obviously being an option for us. Now, the fact that he's only got less than 6 months left now on his contract for PSG, and he's not really playing as much now that Mauro Icardi's there on loan from Inter, suggests that there could be a possibility of a deal getting done. For me, he's the right type of striker. If we are to bring in another striker that we'd need to bring in, he is very different in terms of how he plays. His work rate is tremendous, which would help us. He's a goal-scoring striker, very good in the air, which is, you know, we kind of need that. Even though Martial just scored a header against Norwich, but yeah, for me, it's a good sign because he's a good age. He's 32 now, so he's not going to be stifling the likes of Mason Greenwood too much long term. We do need support up there in terms of a goal threat. Now, obviously, injuries happen, loss of form happens. So, you know, for me, he's the right age whereby he's going to be a threat. He's going to be a very good option, whether starting or coming in off the bench. So for me, that's one that I would like to see done. Would it happen? There's not much traction happening or whisperings about this one at the moment. But for me, again, it's watch your space on this one. Interesting deals there. I'm going to give my A to F rating on these transfer deals, starting with Edinson Cavani. Going to give that one a D, I think. There's potential of a deal getting done, but maybe not. Raul Jimenez, going to give that one an F. Can't see that one happening at all. For me, there's just nothing in that one for me. Let's go back to Bukhari Samari. That one I'm going to give a B. I can see that one making a lot of sense. He's going to be an asset, and he's going to come in and improve our starting lineup. For me, I'll give that one a B. Jude Bellingham, I'd say a D as well. Not too sure on that one. That one's just come out of the woodworks. Let's see on that one. And finally, Bruno Fernandez, going to give that one an A. This one, I can see happening for sure. It's just a case of watch this space. I believe it's a case of when and not if. So fingers crossed, Bruno Fernandez. Okay, don't forget to subscribe. Leave your comments as well, because I want to know what you guys think about these deals. Share as well, and I shall see you in the next one. Take care, guys.